And so this video begins in Spiceland, Indiana. Welcome to this small town that used to be my family's old stomping grounds. I remember coming to Spiceland quite a bit when I was a kid for the Spiceland days, a 4th of July parade, and also there used to be a building beside the Spiceland Township building and public library that sat right here. It was actually an old bank, but when I was a kid, there was a diner that sat here on the corner, and it was called Andy's. And my grandpa used to bring me up here for breakfast. If you go out the town this way, it turns into Spiceland Pike, and it takes you all the way back to Newcastle, my hometown and birthplace. Starting the video here, thinking about my grandpa. He passed away a year ago on the 20th. Little did I know I was coming into town and it just hit me that Grandpa passed a year ago, and I miss him very much. I always come to Spiceland and think about Andy's and think about Grandpa and think about my dad. He went to Spiceland Elementary School. A lot of my relatives grew up right here in this little town, rural town in southern Henry County, Indiana. Newcastle, just a couple miles north of here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome if it's your first time. I am Tampa J. Yep, I was born in Newcastle, Indiana. Lived a little bit in Spiceland, Knightstown, New Palestine, Greenfield, Maxwell, Cumberland. I know I'm going to leave it out. We moved a lot. Moved to Florida when I was 17. I was leaving my sophomore year in high school at Newcastle, and the rest is history. I was there 21 years and just moved to Knoxville, Tennessee, and now I'm revisiting Newcastle this weekend. Spent yesterday with my mom, the last couple days celebrating Christmas, and today I'm going home to Tennessee. And the reason you see a lot of people going in and out of that door over there, that's the post office, and there's no mailboxes in downtown Spiceland. Most people have a P.O. box. I remember my aunt coming up here and getting her mail in the P.O. box. Alright, so for today's video, yes, I am heading home to Tennessee. There is a small historic town in southern Indiana, more so towards Cincinnati, called Metamora. Metamora is a historic whitewater canal town, and it's been preserved. It's a bit of a tourist attraction, and there's tons of history, the canal, and little shops down there, and it's Christmas time, and I wanted to see what Metamora looked like at Christmas time. This place is definitely a time capsule. You're gonna feel like you're going back in time. I'm excited to share this little town with you. So that's gonna be most of the video. Also, we will do some stuff along the way, and then after, we're gonna pass through Brookville, the town that I went to the video store the other day. There's a lot of stuff to see around there. Hope you enjoy it. Thanks for always being here. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. There's much ahead. Welcome back to Indiana. And here's the old Spiceland Friends Church. A lot of my ancestors went here. This is an old Quaker church. My dad's side, Quakers. I remember my aunt getting married in there, and across the street is Spiceland Elementary School, where my dad went to elementary school. And it looks the same as it always has. It hasn't changed, not at all. And here on the backside of the Friends Church is the Spiceland Community Building. This is known as the old Spiceland Gym. I spent a lot of time in there playing basketball, and so did my dad. I would love to get back in there someday. Remember the movie Hoosiers? They didn't use this gym. They almost did. The Knightstown gym, which we've been to before, is just south of us about 5 miles. Very similar. Same era. This was built in 1937. Hopefully one day I'll be able to get back into the Spiceland gym. I'm happy it's still here. I think the church may still own it. And this house right here was my aunt's house. This white house with the black shutters. And that is where I first watched Back to the Future and Pee-wee's Big Adventure, right there, multiple times. And now we come to Dunreath, Indiana, State Road 3 and US 40 right there, the old national road. If you hang a right, you're gonna head into Knightstown. That's where they filmed the movie Hoosiers I was just referencing. Right here, formerly the Flamingo Diner, owned by a family friend by the name of Lowell. They closed it up. They actually sold the Flamingo Diner a couple years back, and now there's a new business in here called the Sweet Pea Cafe. But I spent many dinners and breakfast here with my family, most recently with my grandpa a couple years back. It sits next to the Flamingo Hotel, which is still a thing over there. It's just not the Flamingo Diner anymore. We used to come out here for spaghetti night. I forget what night it was. It was like Wednesday or Thursday, all you can eat spaghetti. I've always wanted to throw this in the video here in Dunreath, Indiana. I'm going to throw something out there that my grandpa told me, a little fun fact about Dunreath. My parents also lived here at the time of, right before I was born actually, but also Roy Rogers, the famous cowboy, his horse, Trigger, was a Palomino horse. The horse farm that Trigger was born on was right here on the backside of Dunreath, and I believe it's still a horse farm today. If you look it up, Wikipedia, it talks about the mystery of his birth. I know for a fact, because of people have told me my whole life, that Trigger was born right here in Dunreath. Add that to Wikipedia, someone. Why do you think I like Flamingo so much? It's because I spent a lot of family time in the Flamingo Diner. Flamingo! That's an inside thing. Someone new here is going to be like, this guy likes flamingos? What's he talking about? Welcome to the channel. Flamingo! Also, another fun fact about Dunreath. I mentioned this before, but a little over the way, over there, a very young John Cryer used to live over there with his mom. John Cryer, the actor, Ducky from Pretty in the Pink. His mom and dad are from this area. They're actually, his grandparents are buried over in Spiceland. There you go, Dunreath. A little town with a lot of history. Flamingo! Dunreath, Indiana. I mean, I don't even think there's a stoplight in this town. Oh yeah, look at this. Old abandoned home even. No trespassing right there. Yeah. Windows all broken in up there. Porch is caving in. Looks like it was on fire at some point. And we are currently heading southeast on US 52. I was on this road the other day, as mentioned then, and I will mention again now. I used to live off of US 52 in Indiana, a little small town north of us, well, northwest of us now, called New Palestine. And now we come to Metamora, just south of town on US 52. I stopped here specifically so we could see the Whitewater Canal. It is right here. My ancestors came from Luray, Virginia, through the Cumberland Gap and then eventually up this Whitewater Canal back in the early 1800s to settle Luray, Indiana. A little fun fact for you there, North Henry County. This one of 56 locks on the historic Whitewater Canal is a cut stone lock, referring to a stone cut from the nearby Laurel Quarry. The hammered, dressed, and coursed ashlar limestone made it a watertight chamber. And right here is a map of Metamora, which we're heading to. The canal cuts right through the historic town. Here's one of the original locks, and you can see the limestone right here as mentioned on the sign. Check out the water flowing through there. It's 34 degrees, a little frozen. These are the doors right here. So the town is behind me. We're gonna head there next. There's also an old sign up here. This is pretty amazing. They built a lot of canals back in the 1800s to get people where they needed to, a lot faster to move on boat. Important waterway of pioneer commerce, built 1836 and between 1847 from Lawrenceburg to Hagerstown. And Hagerstown is where my ancestors got off. It's just east of Luray. And Hagerstown, very well-known town in my county. Very cool Amish community thing going on there. With branch to Cincinnati used until 1816, 15-mile section restored by state. So there are parts and portions of this Whitewater Canal that have been restored. There used to be a building here, I think, or a loading dock right here by 52. Metamora, platted 1838. Welcome to this historic town, and it looks like they have a Christmas walk Friday and Saturday until 10 p.m. Sunday till 5. So we just missed that. It's Monday. I'm gonna put you through the moonroof here. It is a ghost town. Wow, look at this juke joint. They do offer ghost tours somewhere here in the Metamora area. They're heavily decorated for Christmas. This looks amazing. We've got it all to ourselves, and up here we're about to pass over the canal, which we showed on the map runs right through the town. The canal beside the railroad tracks, from what I remember. Crossing over the Whitewater Canal. It's frozen. Pretty impressive. Check out the garland. Oh yeah, they're heavily decorated for Christmas. We're gonna park and get out and walk. L. Allison and Son. Check out these old buildings here, early 1800s. Metamora, Monday morning in December. Quiet. Right down there is where we started. Down at the lock. Just gonna give you a 360 right here. The canal's a little frozen over there. There's a grist mill on the other side of town. There's several historic buildings, as you can see, an old train station. There's the post office. This right here is for sale. Look at this. Could get you a shop here. There's a historic plaque there. I think I'm going to read that. And this is where we came over the bridge, and there's plenty of parking along the railroad tracks and the canal. Metamora, Indiana's old-fashioned Christmas walk. There's the old canal house over there. It may be open. I feel like I'm in a movie, right? The old store over there. Okay. Let's get started. So this old brick building that's for sale was the Jinks and Martindale grocery store. Alfred Blackledge was the original owner of this building. The original building, oh my gosh, that scared me. I just looked over and saw that. Side note, back to it, creepy. The original building burned in 1885. 1885, in the early 1900s, Blackledge was extending credit to surrounding sharecroppers when bad times came, forcing many of the farmers to default on their debts, thus forcing him out of business. That's still going on today, sadly. It's a beautiful building. I like the crown molding. I like that they painted it yellow. On the side of the same building, they have a nice little map of Metamora here. Puts things into perspective for you. Oh, this is also the Whitewater Canal in the green. Looks like it goes all the way up to Laurel Feeder Dam. We've got Connie's cabin in the back there. I think that's like an Airbnb. That's cool. Stay here. I think there are several bed and breakfasts. Most of these stores are only open Saturday and Sunday. That looks like an antique store, the train place. And then here we've got the Sap Bucket, general store and gifts. Also closed today. Hey, it's Bigfoot. That's cool. I like that carved Bigfoot. He's neat, very unique. This Bigfoot fell in the honey barrel, maybe the beer barrel. That's funny. That's cool. Warning, please do not feed the Sasquatch. No problem. I don't have any food for you. And then right next door we have something a little spooky. This is awesome. Cindy's, with an S, Kitchen Witch Cottage. Gifts and decorations. Handmade vintage decor. Cool. It's got like a coffin. It's also decorated for Christmas. Sign over here. And another Whitewater Canal sign over here saying visit the mill, which is that direction. There's also a little wooden bridge over here that has Christmas lights and another stretch of buildings. Look at this. That's old. The Lodge, B&B. That is a bed and breakfast there on the end. Canal Front Dry Goods Store. 2-story frame of Federal style built by Jonathan Baines in 1848. First known as the firm of Jinks, Baines, and Calvin Jones, Harry and Alvin Blackledge. 1852 to 57. Malone and Milton Gordon, 1857 to 92. It's giving all the additions and builders. Very old building, 1850s. Again, the bed and breakfast here called the Lodge. I like their decorations. Got a moose right here. Blow up tree, and also there's some history right here by the door. Wow, that's pretty. Look at the stained glass. Might be fake stained glass, but it's cool. This was Old Fellows Hall, erected in 1853, built of brick. It is the only 3-story building in Metamora. Ground floor was a general merchandising establishment operated by 3 generations of the Gordon family, Milton, Noble, and Donald. Metamora Post Office, once located in Gordon's store, right in here. 2nd floor, originally a town hall, later occupied by Knights of, I'm going to butcher this, Pythias Lodge, Oddfellows Lodge, located on the 3rd floor, and was instituted by a General P.A. Hackelman, Franklin County native and Union general, killed in action in 1862. Local Masonic Lodge formed in the building May 23rd, 1857. That's a lot of history for one building right here. Check it out. The only 3-story building. Metamora, with a lot of fascinating history. Little walking tour of Metamora today. I'm going to cross the railroad track, cross the bridge over the canal. Oh wow, nice little stream down here. Okay, there's more of the canal down there. Awesome. We'll eventually go take a look at that for sure. There's some history along the way on the bridge here too. The canal broke the bank several times. Oh wow, there's a picture of it here, right here. Building a hand-dug canal was hard work. They hand-dug this, labored 12 to 15 hours per day, summer and winter rain or shine, exposed to malaria, dysentery, typhoid, and cholera. Grubbed the land, cleared trees, stumps, and bushes. Can only imagine. Yeah, this would be really cool to walk through at night, all lit up. Look at that. Look at the vine over this old building. Now, I think someone's living there, but at some point, this was an old store. That house over there kind of reminds me of the Christmas Story house, right? Definitely same era. I have to point out the old lamppost there. Vintage. Original. Look at this old house. I feel like I would see a house like this, or I have seen a house like this in Cape Cod, maybe. The Northeast. No trespassing. Just passing it by. Got some trees over here, got a snowman on top of there. What a quiet town. There's a car, look at that. And it looks like some of the locals here, down the alleyway here, you can see tents set up. Perhaps they are vending out of their backyard for the event. And I'm sure they do that year round. They have many different historic events in Metamora. They have one for the fall and Halloween as well. It's like a postcard right here, look at that. I'm going to cross that bridge eventually. Checking out the, what is this? This is 1838 photography. Whispers of the Canal Ghost Tours. Whoa, okay. Don't know if they're open. Maybe we can peek in that window, but it says right here on the sidewalk, old time photos, walk-ins welcome when available. And there's the number if you're interested. Starting to get a little busier out here. They've got their card on the door there. Whispers on the Canal. Ghost tours, I'm sure Metamora. And I've always heard it's very haunted, so that would be a fun time. Learn about all the ghost stories here. Oh yeah, old time photos. Reminds me of Old Town USA. The Canal House. Granny's Cookie Jars and Ice Cream Parlor. That sounds nice. It is open. This is the only store I've seen open so far. It looks like there are many different cookie jars in the window. Also, the Metamora Visitor Center is right next door. I wonder if that's open. Alright, I'm just going to peek my head in here. Let's see what we can find. First, let's check out some of those cookie jars. Right off the bat, the Babe Ruth cookie jar caught my eye. I've never seen a Babe Ruth cookie jar. I've never seen a lot. There's a Babe Ruth Stein there too. Never seen a lot of these cookie jars. Very original. Got some Oreos down here. And the other window, I see Santa Claus. I see Bugs Bunny. I see Fred and Barney. Those are cool. I like the Flintstones. Got some Disney up here. I see some newer ones. Recognize some from Disney. Some very vintage cookie jars. Oh, look at that. Wizard of Oz and the hot air balloon up there in the corner. See it? It's kind of glary. Oh, wow. Whoa. Look at all the cookie jars. Amazing. Some Star Wars ones up there and monsters. This place is amazing. It's all cookie jars. Holy cow, there's a Ronald McDonald one there. And here's the ice cream parlor in the back of the store. I think it goes on back that way too. There's more stuff to see. I've never seen so many cookie jars in my life. Wow, all in one place. This is amazing. They've got categories. Like over here is like Coke cookie jars. Alright, this is also a salt and pepper collection. Wow, everything's for sale. Whoa. Oh, that's amazing. This is all Christmas back here.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I like that one there. This looks like Easter. Whoa. Goes along the back wall with really old, like boots. Yeah. That's a lot of Santa. That's cool. Wow, this whole corner. Christmas corner cookie jar collection. That's a lot of C's. Whoa.
We have over 500 Christmas.
Over 500 Christmas. Wow. Thank you. It's amazing. I am worth it. It's a salt and pepper shaker. Kind of looks like Paul Bunyan. It's got the stump. Really neat. Tons of vintage coffee mugs here too for sale. Dwayne left his. Weird, because I had an Aunt Mabel that lived in Florida that was originally from Indiana that used to take my dad to Cypress Gardens. Is that Aunt Mabel's mug? Look at this, class of '83. That's my mom's class. Not her colors though. The world's largest collection of cookie jars. You gotta come see this. Oh yeah, these are all Snoopy. And then above Snoopy we got Raggedy Ann and Andy. We got some Indianapolis 500 glasses in here, 1971. We've got some old Christmas glasses, jelly glasses. We've got cool cigarettes, pints. Ooh, I remember these. Flintstones cups. Who had these? I watched Flintstones right here in Indiana for sure. Got these at McDonald's. They're $5 each. I am buying them. I've been looking for these. 1982 King Kong the movie cup. That's gnarly. That's $10. Well, that was a hidden gem in a hidden gem of a town. I got the glasses, came out to about $21. I was handed this historic Metamora, Indiana self-guided walking tour, which has QR codes next to pictures of all the buildings down here, so you can watch videos as you're touring the town. And it also has descriptions by each building too, so you don't technically need a phone. You get a brief description, but if you scan the QR codes, there are videos. Seeing if the visitor center is unlocked. Oh yeah, it is. Look at that. Good place to get a little warm. It's a little cold in here, and there's a guest book. Sign the guest book. Might as well. Oh, my bad. I thought it was a guest book. This is just more history here of the Whitewater Canal. Here's all the Indiana canals. Okay, so here you go. Cincinnati, Lawrenceburg, Brookville, Metamora, Laurel, Connorsville, Cambridge City. A lot of ancestors from Cambridge City, Richmond, Hagerstown, Henry, and Wayne County right here. Also, my grandpa was born in Randolph. And then up here, I think this might be part... Yeah, this is Wabash and Erie Canal. There you go, Metamora Haunted Village, October. Here's an old depiction of how it used to go. Looks like the horses pulled the boats, and I do believe at some time they do have canal boat rides pulled by horse here in Metamora. I think it's in the summertime. Here's the schedule for all the events. They have Strawberry Days, they have Christmas in July, Children's Day, music festivals, Haunted Village tree lighting, St. Patty's Day Parade, Gristmill opens in April. May celebrate 1838 Chainsaw Invitational. Wow, a chainsaw show, that'd be cool. I think I'm gonna cross over and check out these last stretch of buildings here, and then we'll head down towards the grist mill, which I don't think is open according to that sign, but we can take a look. Yeah, right here. Just imagine your ancestors coming through here 170 something years ago. Most likely, if you live in northern Indiana or the Midwest, they did. Christmas time at the Whitewater Canal. L.A. Leeson and Son. Could be Listen. There is a historic plaque over here I will read. Check out the angels. General store. Giant Christmas tree in real right here. So it says on the building that this was once an 1840s Masonic lodge, owned and used by a number of families prominent in the early history of Metamora. These included Martindale, Watkins, Allison, and Wiley. The ground floor was a general store at some time. And we can look in the window here. A lot of tables set up. Looks like you can lease this out. And look at this. This is the Martindale house. This is really old. There's another historic plaque down here. I like how it's decorated for Christmas. I like the bows and the garland. Martindale house. Sorry, we're closed. Martindale Hotel. Built in 1838 by Ezekiel Tyner to house his storeroom and counting room, where he acted as agent for canal trade. Housing his family in the addition in the rear, he then purchased the land from David Mount in 1841. Thomas Tagg acquired the property in 1858 and ran a tavern until 1870, when Amos Martindale extended the building right here. I think that's the extension to the west, and operated the Martindale Hotel until 1895. Through many owners, a public dining room was maintained in this building for guests of the hotel, travelers by canal, stage, or trail. It's pretty fascinating. Yeah, look at this. And it still goes. There's a lot of buildings down this way. Got a truck coming. This is a little photo opportunity here, and this talks about how animals powered the canal house. Mules and draft horses are known for their strength and endurance. Their wide hooves and sturdily bodies are ideal for pulling heavy loads at a steady pace. A draft animal can move 50 times as much weight as a boat as it can pull in a cart on a dirt road. Santa's sleigh with presents and doggies in the back here. Look at that, right before the canal bridge. That one kind of looks like Bella. Bella, someone's gonna get you for Christmas. All right, well, hopefully she'll come back someday. I have this handheld chargeable heater, handheld hand heater in my coat. It's been keeping my left hand pretty warm as I'm filming with my right. All right, we're heading down towards the mill. Passing back by the lodge, old brick house here. Like that, its mailbox looks just like the house. Oh, it's a little public library. There you go. Okay, there's a whole nother side of town and shops down on this side of town. A lot of parking too. Some old cabins out that way, more shops. Right here is the grist mill, which sits right on the canal. I told you we'd go over there and take a look earlier. Looks like this is open on the weekends as well. Metamora grist mill, built 1845, rebuilt 1900. They did have a fire in town, sadly, tragically. This may have been an old scale or a loading dock right here. I noticed that the grindstone is sitting over here. Been seeing a lot of these in Tennessee. There's the old grist mill grindstone. It's cool. It's a big one. They've actually got a lot of the old grist mill equipment just sitting out here, so you can see some of the sprockets and the turners. Don't quote me on the technical terms for those. Another stone right there. All right, walking up here. Gonna go over to the bridge so we can see the dam, the canal. They've got a nice little bridge up here. We can walk across the canal. Wow. Okay. Here's the wheel for the mill. Wow, that thing's old. Water moving. It's not moving right now, but here's the mill. And you can see right here, here's the platform underneath the ground. That's probably where the turner went into the mill from the wheel. Also, it's a little bigger than I thought. There's another building right there. Yeah, you see right here? Used to go in there, right there, that hole, and it would turn the mill inside there. Water power. Wow. So the boats would go over here. The water would come through this duct to operate the mill. Just kind of figuring it out here as we're going. That's an old house over there. Wow. Wow. Well over 150 years old. It's probably been restored a few times, I can only imagine. I'd love to see it turning. Wonder if it turns. Guess there may not be enough water pressure. There's another sign over here. Passenger pigeon extinction. Before extinction, vast numbers of passenger pigeons migrated through Indiana, with many nesting in the state's forests in the spring. Pigeon roosts, which spread over miles and could damage and topple trees, often attracted amazed onlookers and hunters. The last verified passenger pigeon in the wild was shot about 5 miles from here near Laurel on April 3rd, 1902. Wow. Had no idea. It's a good vantage point of downtown Metamora too, up here on the top of the canal. Wow, what an experience. I have barely scratched the surface here. I will save a ton of history for another episode. I'm always passing through Metamora in between Tennessee and going up to visit my mom like I just did. Much ahead. I'll be back. And here's another ice cream shop, an old cabin. A lot of ice cream. Hoosiers love their ice cream in the summer, that's for sure. I can confirm. I know I did. Mercantile homemade. Here's an old Victorian farmhouse. Really good shape. Active farm too. Just on the west side of Metamora. Alright, I'm heading towards Brookville. Might get some food there. Alright, I was just showing the IGA across the way in yesterday's video, or a couple days ago. Welcome to Whitetail Acres Nursery and Landscaping and Reindeer Encounters. Reindeer Encounters, mywhitetail.com. Wolf Creek Habitat and Rescue Incorporation. So they still have Christmas trees out here. It's never too late. These are pretty. I looked it up online. It's $25 for a reindeer encounter, and you have to make reservations. Oh my gosh, it's a real reindeer right there. That's amazing. Reindeer are from Northern Europe, Norway, Finland, and Sweden, and herded by people called, I'm going to butcher that, Samish or Simi? Oh yeah, look at this, quite a Christmas shop. They have mini Rees in here, real Rees. Beautiful. They've got a store in here playing Christmas music, of course. Oh, I think I see the Grinch in here, no way. Whoa, what a wonderland. Yeah, this is pretty. Got some elves or some gnomes over here. Okay, yeah, wait till you see the Grinch. It's a really pretty store. 100% real reindeer fur, antlers. Wow, they're bottle openers. Okay, so the fur is in the ornament. So this is real reindeer fur you can hang on your tree for $12.99. Got a real reindeer right here. Taxidermy reindeer. Once was a real reindeer. Hello, Lex. Oh, that's impressive. Oh, wow. Are you okay, Mrs. Claus? Oh my gosh. Look away, kids. Hi, Grinch. How you doing? Merry Grinchmas.
I'm gonna text Santa. And you're gonna get lots of clothes.
Bye, Grinch. See ya. See you later. Thank you for not petting or feeding the reindeer without supervision. So yeah, you have to pay for the experience. I don't think I'm going to do it today. It's cool just to see people doing it over here. I'm always passing US 52. Can't believe I've passed this up. Didn't know it was here many a times. That is amazing. Rescued reindeer. Wow. They have a Santa's reindeer barn experience over here. A bunch of fun. Look at all this straw in here. All right, this is amazing. Oh, it's warm. The straw is insulating the building. It feels definitely warmer in here. They got reindeer games, of course. This is really neat. Holiday roadside attraction. Good old snowball fight. All right. Yeah, I don't mind getting hit with one of those snowballs. That's not that bad. And they have tractor rides. Look at this. Oh, cool. They got it all. It is Monday, and they are open pretty much every day. So stop on by. I think they're doing this all the way to Christmas. Also, they got a fire pit over there. You can keep warm. All right. I'm getting hungry. I'm going to get out of here, get some food, and then maybe show a couple more things. Much ahead. Check out Whitetail Reindeer Encounter. That's white. I think it's mywhitetail.com. I'm reading the sign right there. Cool photo op there too. Merry Christmas, everyone. 38 degrees. What? All right, guys. As the sign says, it's Skyline time. We are so close to Cincinnati. I showed this a couple videos ago as I was passing through Brookville. I'm going to get some Skyline for lunch. And yes, there's the cow and the IGA. I didn't mean to come back here twice in 3 days. Skyline. It's Skyline time. Yeah. Man, it's so warm in here. All right, am I going to do a chili 3-way, 4-way, 5-way? Looks like we got wraps, salads. I like their coney dogs. Cheese conies. Pretty quick. So there are 3 hot dogs on the bottom of my chili right there, topped with cheese, and I'm going to put some oyster crackers on there. All right, I just took the first bite. It was a little messy, so I didn't show it. Absolutely perfect. Glad I got the hot dogs in here. I might get something else. I'm pretty hungry. All right, I'm all paid up. That was only 15 bucks, and I did add another coney dog. I had 4 dogs. Yeah, and I'm full. Good stuff. Skyline Chili. Thankfully, we have some Skyline Chilies. Well, no, not in Tennessee, but in Kentucky, not too far. Okay, just south of Brookville. This is White's Farm Flea Market and Auction Barn. Cattle auction right here. Livestock option. The other day, I started the video mentioning that my dad and I set up at the Brookville Flea Market, aka the White's Farm Flea Market. We called it the Brookville Flea Market. We used to set up here on a Friday night, Saturdays in the summer. A lot of vendors out here, big flea market. We used to sell antiques out here, and wanted to stop by here and see it again and reminisce. Looks the same. We used to set up out there on the hill. A lot of times we'd come the night before and camp out. We'd either sleep in the bed of the truck, and at one point we had a camper shell, a pickup camper, in the back of my dad's truck when we'd pull a trailer with all our stuff and the tables. And I just remember meandering out here and looking at the flea market, coming down to Brookville. Did that 4 or 5 weekends in the summer of, I think it was the summer of 2001, 2002, right out here. And I think they do have indoor flea markets in one of these buildings out here during the winter, but it's typically a summer thing. White's. This is the White's Farm. They own all this land out here. Pretty incredible. Nice property. Yeah, but I just wanted to show that here, so I'm passing it. There you go, White's Farm. Big sign at the front of the property on US 52, and in the background, that's the old Cedar Grove Church. Very old, early 1800s. The heart of it all, Ohio. And now back in Indiana. You go in and out of Indiana a couple times before you cross the Ohio River into Kentucky over there. Look at that. I think that baby's nuclear. Carroll Lee Copper Bridge over the Ohio River. Right out there, Ohio, Indiana, and Kentucky meet. Right out in the middle of the river. We'll look west. Okay, there it is. We are now in Kentucky. Next state, Tennessee. Yeah, almost home. Well, I've got almost 4 hours.